Hi guys, this is Stormouse03. Welcome back to Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition, the remastered version of this game, and it's very pretty so far. Just finished up a bunch of Citadel stuff and a first round of talking with my crew, and we're ready to head out to our first mission on the Normandy out in the galaxy, where we are commander. So that is very exciting. In the interim between recordings, I switched up my equipment a little bit, just threw on some better weapons and put in a few upgrades for my armor and stuff. So, you know, nothing crazy. This will hopefully help me be able to use some more abilities, because I would like to do that. And so, yeah. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the galaxy map and plot a course. Also, it's nice, these little maps are pretty cool because they give you some information about, you know, the different places that you are going, which is pretty cool. We're in the Serpent Nebula right now, and we're about to head to Liara's dig site. So you'll notice that we have a couple of different locations here. So Novaria was mentioned. That's the place full of like corporate stuff. It's very snowy. And there's a lead, I think, about Matriarch Benezia there. Then there is Pharos, where we have some colonies. It's like an old Prothean site, and we lost contact with some of our human colonies there. And then we have the Artemis Tau cluster, which is the site of Dr. T'Soni's dig site, where we're going to look for her to give us some more information about her mother. And since she is going to be important to us, we're going to look for her. And so there's a few different places where we can look. So like Sparta is nope. Sparta is a place where we have a side quest. I think one of the ones that we picked up on the Citadel, we have a side quest there, and then there are several different other worlds. But let's go ahead and travel to this system here. And it is the first time we get to see this animation of the Normandy getting unclamped from the Citadel. It's iconic. Mass Effect relays are really cool. That was a quick cutscene here. So then you can kind of take a look at the different planets, and it gives you an overview of what they are. So this one is Phaistos, small terrestrial with a trace atmosphere of carbon dioxide and xenon. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sulfur and various silicates. There is little of interest on this desolate world. And so it just gives you some information about each planet, and then there are some of them that, you know, you can land on. This one is Armeni, and and you can read a little bit more about this one, and you notice this is another one that we can't travel to. I believe that Miss T'Soni is on Therum. So Therum is a distant but rich industrial world claimed by the Human Systems Alliance. Its plentiful heavy metals have fueled the recent manufacturing boom on Earth. Core samples rich with the fossils of simple silicon-based organisms indicate Therum was more habitable in the past than it is at present. Perhaps this explains the many Prothean ruins dotting the surface, most of which have been looted by mining corporations. So, we were told to look for the planet with Prothean ruins. We see that this one has Prothean ruins. We can actually land on it, and so this is where we are about to go to. Look at that ship flying. Man, I am impressed with the loading times. That's not usually something that I notice a lot, but I have been playing games recently where the loading times have been so incredibly long. It's ridiculous. And so I am right now very appreciative of this thing. Interesting. I feel like they've changed the colors for Biotic and Tech. I swear that Biotics used to be blue and Tech was purple. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but I could swear that that's what it used to be. Because I was like, wait a minute, Rex isn't Tech Soldier, he's Biotic Soldier. But he is Biotic Soldier. They just have different color scheme there than what I was expecting. Anyway, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering that. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But right now we're going to take, let's take Tabby and Rex. And here we are, our first little mission in the Mako here.
Strange readings, really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
So we have a Mako. Oh, I love this vehicle. Like, I know a lot of people had problems with it. I don't know. I always liked the Mako. I had a little spot in my heart, and hopefully they remind me how to use it, because I don't know that I remember. But okay, it looks like this is thrusters and this is up thrusters, forward thrusters and vertical thrusters. So that's good. That is guns, and that is explosions. That's probably all we need to know. Come here, kitty. What are you doing? Okay, you want to get right there? My cat, being the little noodle. All right. Okay. It's difficult to to drive a vehicle when your cat is all over you. Okay. This away. So we're looking for a dig site. Look at this lava. That looks pretty good. Oh gosh. Let's not drive into it. And here is a Geth ship. Dun dun dun. And they are laying down some fire here. There we go. One down. A 2 down. See you later. Get the armature. So you know you're in the right place when you start to see enemies. The design on those Geth ships, I also think is quite cool. Looks like we've got some more enemies up here. Let's also not drive off into the lava. That would probably be bad for our health.
Only a fool punches a knapsack in the mouth. We should sneak around and pull its tail.
Okay. We don't want to punch the Narthak in the mouth. But wouldn't you want to punch the Narthak in the mouth, Rex? Isn't that more you're in a MO? Alright. That's one turret down. And these things, I feel like we're doing a good job against them right now. But man, those turrets and things can just rip holes in you. And these Geth with their rockets and stuff, they can do a number on you too. All right, who's behind me? Jokes. There are more. I know there are more of you. Come on and die. Oh my. Please. Okay. Who's here? I know you're in there. It's okay. We can exit and get you. What about the person over here? Let's how do we exit? There we go. Okay. Also, we have new squad mates and they need talents. So, oh boy. Well, first of all, Rex needs shotguns. Second of all, Rex needs fitness and immunity because he's badass. And we'll go again and give him some more warp because warp is a pretty sweet. Okay, Tally. Tally needs decryption so that she can unlock hacking because she's our electronics expert. And so we're also going to, nope, okay, that's fine. We're also going to unlock damping for her. And we should probably give her a few points in some weapons and some armor. And we'll go with that. Okay. Okie dokes. Now that we've equipped our team, we can take on some Geth here. Oh, there is nobody in here.
Take out those hostiles!
Are there hostiles, Tally? Because I don't see any. But in this building, there is one. I do think. Oh my goodness, please. The moment when you want a jump button, right? Also, let's put on our pistol. grab some stuff. Excuse me. Please move. Okay. Get control. Oh, there we go. That's that. But we have another group of people to murder. Or one more person to murder. Ooh, a rocket trooper. We did not want to mess with him. Now we have opened all the gates. That's good. Not that we necessarily needed to open that one, but I guess when we're trying to exit. Oh my goodness. Or if we want to get shot at by turrets. Perhaps this wasn't the best decision. I wonder if we can destroy those with just our regular. I don't think so. Let's get in the Mako, huh? Please, 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 please. Oh, Mako. Oh, Mako. Did not do that fast enough. Turrets down. Nobody panic. Here we go, headed forward. We've got some more death. A lone armature, huh? Ow. Excuse me. Oh, you're still alive! I'm like, wait a minute, why are you still shooting at me when you're dead? Because it's not dead. Here comes another dropship. I wonder where they're going. Could it be to the place that it's going to? And it also interests me. You know, that all these Geth here are here, and you know, you can have multiple theories about that, like multiple interpretations of that. It's like, are the Geth here, please die. Are the Geth here to protect one of their agents? Is Liara one of them? Could be. Or are they here to capture her or kill her? You know, like she's one of the bad guys' daughter, right? one of our established bad guys. Oh, Colossus. These things are pretty tough. And they can lay on some pain. It would be nice if I could hit him with my rocket. Yeah. Okay. Please. You know, it makes you think like, well, she's probably working with her, and we're gonna need to apprehend her and question her and put her through the questioning. But maybe it's not quite like that. I don't know. I mean, I do know. You probably know too. Because, I don't know, I just can't imagine that there are people who haven't played these games. But I suppose that those people exist. And if you exist, and you're watching this, you know, maybe don't keep watching me. Go out and buy this game and play it yourself, because it's awesome. And just speaking on some of the improvements and stuff, you know, I know that they were supposed to have improved the Mako here and make it less sort of low gravity feeling, right? Honestly, it's been such a long time since I played these games, I don't really know about that. Please.
On my way.
But, you know, I trust that they did some tweaking and stuff. It feels pretty decent in terms of vehicular stuff and things. Alright, this is just flavor. It's just stuff that the environment is populated with to make it feel like it's lived in. But yeah, the Mako feels pretty good, and I'll tell you what, the graphics, the changes that they have made to the graphics are, I feel, noticeably different. Like, that was one of the things that was a problem for me with the original Mass Effect 1, was there was a lot of pop-in on the graphics on the original Xbox 360 version, and you know, they seem to have fixed that, which is pretty great. Ooh. Please don't drive into the lava, door mouse. Please don't drive into the lava. Please. This thing controls just like a warthog from Halo. I was never the best
Redeploying.
at that. Okay, so we can't fit the Mako through here, but conveniently, now that we're in combat, we've got these walls that we can hide behind. Oh boy, kittens. Oh boy. That was a rocket aimed right at our face. And I don't know that I have showcased this too much, because combat when you're on normal isn't all that hard. But we can use some different skills here, so we're gonna use let's use damping with her and warp with Rex. You know, and so you can have them target something with their abilities. Oh my goodness, shoot the Geth. You can play it as something that's a little bit more, you know, turn-based, where it's like, okay, we want to target this guy, I want you to overload him, and I'm going to throw him away. If all those things would actually function. Alright. We're going to use Carnage on that guy. And I want to actually use my ability, please. Thank you. You know, so you can play it a little bit more like a turn-based kind of thing, where you're pausing and kind of selecting the abilities that your squad mates use. They do just sort of naturally use their abilities. That's why, you know, you'll see I didn't ask Rex to use immunity, but he, oh dear, but he had. Please go take cover. And you know what? I super appreciate the ability for all classes to be able to use all these weapons. Like, it is a very nice to be able to use these sniper rifles. Like, that's sexy. Right there. And in the past, I think it was only the soldier that could use them, which, you know, was a thing. Let's switch back here. That should also make the insanity. Hey now, the insanity run potentially a little bit easier. All right, we're gonna use overload. We're gonna use. And I will use not hurl shock. I'll use lift. Bam. Here. Now, Rocket Trooper, you are not going to win. I'm going to use Sabotage, and we'll have Atali use that. Rex will use Barriers. Why not? Just trying to use some different abilities, because there are some achievements for using various abilities several times, and I'm curious as to whether the squad mates count, you know, when you have them use their abilities, or if that has to be you, Shepard, using those abilities. And now we have a Geth Colossus. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, Rex. Alright. These little stalker guys, I swear, they, oh! And I got smacked. They haven't... I don't think they've been in any other Mass Effect. Like, I think they are only in Mass Effect 1. That Colossus is no joke. P.S. Okay. Come with me, children. Let's go. Okay. You don't want to use it on that guy? Okay, use it on this guy then. Hit. Murder, murder, kill. Oh, they hit me with the whammy. Get out of here, boy. Attack him. This guy. This does nothing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Callie, did you get murdered again? Woman. Some sniffers. Take out some of these, yeah. At least one left besides the Colossus. Let's dash over here. Where's this other one? Doing a good job there. Fire. I wonder if you can bring it down from back here. Like, I can't tell what its health bar is. But, and like, I can't target it with my abilities from this distance, but I can shoot it with a sniper rifle. wonder if that's, you know, if that's helpful. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's almost gone, man. Get clocked by that thing. Sorry, Rex, I sacrificed you. And now there's one more thing? What is this thing? It's a Geth Trooper. Where you be at, Geth Trooper? Hiding. Over here, behind this cover. Are you for real with yourself? Get out of here. Alright. Yeah, get up, please. Heal. Okay. Well, that was a thing. That was the first, like, actual properly tough fight. I think, because man, that Colossus is not a joke. It will murder you. What do you think of this place?
Have searched many generations for a world to call home. If we landed here, we'd just keep searching.
Yep.
Nothing but rocks, dirt, and lava. Reminds me.
Aw, Tuchanka. We'll get there. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Lift you. Warp you and overload you. Die! Die, bud. Okay. Alright. Go. You. Yes, this is my kitty cat. I know, it is time for bed, Whooper. But we have to save Liara, okay? I know. Sorry about this, guys.
It's like this cavern formed around the ruin after it was built.
I know. We are gonna go to bed soon, okay? But we got to save Liara. It's Dr. T'Soni. We got to do it.
Alright. So we're heading down into this, like, mine area where they were digging up some Prothean ruins, perhaps, or some resources. I don't know. Alright. Oh boy. Let's warp on that one. And you're gonna overload that one. And I'm gonna overload this one. Didn't work out exactly the way that I planned, but that's okay.
Sterile wide. Protheans sure build things.
Whoop. Alright, let's head down some more. Yes, Brutus, I know. Okay. Head down here.
Hello? Somebody help me! Please?
Well, hi there.
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Are you okay? What happened to you?
Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
How did you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth beyond the veil! I activated the tower's defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please!
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side. I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
We just need to figure some way past this energy field.
It's a Prothean barrier curtain. I knew it would keep me safe from the Geth. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please.
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
Okay. So here's Liara. And I just love this introduction to her. You can kind of see what I was saying before in the previous part about how she's sort of that kind of like young, fresh, naive type person in this one, and she definitely goes through a huge character arc throughout the 3 games, but she's very just sort of endearing and sweet and nerdy and a little bit inept. She gets herself into situations like this because she's just very eager, you know, to try things and do things and figure out stuff and whatever. And I don't know, just sort of the fact that you find her like that, like it couldn't be any more perfect way to sort of signal to you that, like, you know, okay, you came after this person, you kind of thought that perhaps they were going to be bad, or on the bad guy's side, and I think there's no better way to establish, you know, the fact that this is not exactly who you thought it was. This sniper rifle is my jam. You know, I never used these because I never played as a soldier, but this is sweet. I am loving this sniper rifle right now. It's like the best. Alright, so we've got mining laser controls. Perhaps a way that we can get past... Oh dear. A way that we can get past the barrier there. But first, we've got to take out all these peeps. Can I overload you from this distance? Nope, that's not what I want. Goodbye. Let's check out this locker, huh? Okay, so do we have the mining laser codes? Is that a thing that we know how to do? Or a lot of bees in that one. Okie dokes. Oh. There we go. Nice. We blasted through, but note that we have not met a Krogan yet. And she said there was a Krogan. Hey, Liara.
Oh, how did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
We have to get you out of here before more Geth arrive.
Yes, you're right. I've seen enough of them to last a lifetime. That button should shut down my containment field.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
There is an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator. It should take us out of here. Come on! I still cannot believe all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Seren's looking for the conduit. You're a Prothean expert. He probably wants you to help him find it.
The conduit? But I don't know.
What the hell was that?
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic event. We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
Joker, get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
He needs to move faster.
If I die in here, I'll kill him.
If I die in here, I'll kill him. That's right, Rex. And here's this Krogan.
Surrender. Or don't. That would be more fun.
In case you didn't notice, this place is falling apart.
Exhilarating, isn't it? Thanks for getting rid of those energy fields for us. Hand the doctor over.
Whatever it is you want, you are not getting it from me.
She'll stay with us, thanks.
Not an option. Saren wants her, and he always gets what he wants. Kill him. Spare the Asari if you can. If not, doesn't matter.
Uh-huh. Alright. You... Well, let's see. First we'll take out your shields. Then we'll have Rex hit you with the warp, and I will hit you with a neural shock. Let's see. We need cover. Woo! Yeah. Ooh, he's got immunity on. Poor Tali. Girl. Oh boy. That was that Krogan rush. That was that Krogan rush, man. That's the moment you need a shotgun.
That's right, kitty. We did. We got shot in the face.
It was bad.
Did you see?
Well, we're gonna beat him this time, though. Alright. Oh, nope. We'll go with the... You know what? Let's not do that. Let's do this. And we'll do this. Let's get over here. Hey, look! We, unlocked and... there. Who are we shooting at? Shooting at somebody important? Alright. This Geth guy. Let's do this. Why don't you put on your barrier? No, your barrier there. Or your warp there, right? Alright. That one's done. Poor Tali. Good gracious. You just do not have any armor, do you? Geth sniper, human sniper. Let's go. Let's distance. Moving around, are we? This we're gonna shoot in the face. Oh boy. Put on a barrier. Oh, he's getting shot in the face. Oh, Rex. Get up, boy. Don't fall over. He's using some warp there. This guy is very similar to Rex. But now he's dead. In the face. I think. Did he die? No, he did not die. Jeez, man. Alright. Use this. I'm going to use that. Alright, let's run away from that. Alright. Where is this Geth that is shooting me in the head? Nope. Let's use some Omnigel here. Alright. Really? Butt face. Got your stupid stuff back. Alright, alright, you. Really? Oh, come on, man. Alright. You are irritating. Okay. Where is this guy? There you are. There we go. Gotta collapse like as you're getting out, because you know that's just the rules. I love that Rex was up front. He was like, he can run. He's got proficiency in athletics there, boy. That little tail was moving.
Too close, Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
We almost died out there and your pilot is making jokes?
It's a coping mechanism. You'll get used to it.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
Just how old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn! I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours, but among the Asari, I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory out there. The problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans left remarkably little behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
If the Protheans weren't the first, then who was?
I don't know. There is barely any evidence on the Protheans, even less on those who came before them. I cannot prove my theory, but I know I am right. The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines, the Reapers.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
This isn't helping us find Saren, or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her bionics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Nice practical reasoning there. Rex?
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Prothean's true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. T'Soni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Liara's on our side. The Geth were trying to kill her.
Benezia would never allow Therum to kill her daughter.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Or maybe we don't know her. We never expected she could become a traitor.
At least the mission was a success.
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin. Was that really necessary, Shepard?
The Geth were crawling all over those ruins. We were lucky to make it out alive.
Of course, Commander. The mission must always take priority.
Good luck, Commander. Remember, we are all counting on you.
Alright. So we have picked up our final member who gave us a lot of exposition there. Talking about, the Protheans and this cycle that she's sort of uncovered, and I don't know that they did the greatest job of explaining that. It felt a lot like, I can't explain to you why I know this, but this is what's happening. Which feels a little bit bad. I don't know. But I can kind of understand what it is that she was trying to say there. Because sometimes, you find, if you're a very skilled archaeologist or something, right? You can look at some architecture or a pot or a tool and kind of know whether or not it fits within a society, or a different one, right? So you can kind of look at these things and say, hey, this tool doesn't really seem like it belongs in this ruin, or we think that this is, a civilization that existed 1,000 years ago, but these things seem to be older than that. They match architecture or technology of a time that's before that era that you think it is, right? So it's you don't necessarily have evidence to support that. Sometimes archaeology is a little bit of guesswork, I think, where certain things have facts and dates and a lot of documentation and evidence, and other things are kind of guesses as to, okay, what was this thing used for, or where did this thing come from? Some of it is guessing. And I think that's what they were kind of getting at there with Liara, that, she can't, there's no documentation or proof, and that's specifically done, right? Like she said, it seems like somebody went and wiped a bunch of evidence out of existence, because you would think if a civilization fell, there would be lots of remains of that, there would be bodies that you could find, and dig up. There would be skeletons, there would be artifacts, there would be ruins, and it just feels like there's not a lot. There are these little bits and pieces that they're finding, but there's not a lot, and it seems like way less than there should be, and that's pretty interesting, and obviously has a lot to do with the main story. But especially since there was that sort of wiping of the evidence and stuff, there's not a lot that she can use to prove her theories. But she just has that sort of intuition and gut feeling. And Liara is very intelligent. She's probably one of the most, if not the most, intelligent person in this story, right? And this is something that she spent a long time doing. And so they try to establish that there. Again, like, it does feel a little bit like, I'm giving you this information dump, please, you know, believe me, because I can't really tell you how I know it, but this is what's happening. Which, you know, I wish it was done maybe a little bit differently, but again, I can forgive that. Because I can kind of understand where she's coming from, and in lore, there is not a lot of evidence. And so it's kind of like she's found these bits and pieces and made these guesses and theories and like put things together, but there's no actual like hard proof, and that does jive with the rest of the story. So we won't be too critical of that. But let's do a pass of our crew and give everybody a talking to.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. Top of my class in flight school? I earned that. Okay.
So we've heard all of this before.
And I'll make her dance. Alright, see ya.
Moving on. So he had nothing new. A lot of times people have new things to say, but that tends to be kind of your main crew. So yeah, I don't think the Joker or Presley or Adams has anything new to say, probably. There's no talking to the council right now. Cool. Oh my goodness, please. Let's go up. At least we'll have at least one new person to talk to. Because we have Miss T'Soni herself. Is this Shepard's quarters? Awesome. I didn't come in here before. That is a sad looking bed right there. 2 cots pushed together. This captain's quarters needs a little bit of, I don't know. It needs a space hamster or something. Got any thoughts there, Caden?
Commander? Do you have a minute?
I do.
I always make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
Well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's future in space?
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or, you know, for justice. Maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
And you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess. Ma'am.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
We have to depend on each other in combat. I like knowing what kind of man I have in my back.
I understand, ma'am. I won't let you down. You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
Of course, but I don't enjoy it with everyone. We'll talk again later.
I'll need some time to process that, Commander. But, yeah, I'd like that.
So, this is one problem that I have with this game, is some of the auto-flirting that occurs. Like, there was no way to tell him, I did the only option that was like, yeah, I talk to everybody, because I do talk to everybody. I'm not specifically flirting with you, I'm just trying to get to know you like I'm trying to get to know everybody. But there was very clearly this, like, flag of, oh, I need to take time to process that, Commander. And he very clearly has feelings for Shepard. So it sort of auto-flags this romance with him and FemShep. And I don't know, that bothers me, because it's like, the only way to not tick that is if you don't talk to him. And I think maybe it may even tick it over even if you don't talk to him very much. And it annoys me whenever it initiates romance with somebody without your permission. Right? Like, it's like, I just wanted to talk to this person. I didn't mean to flirt with them. And that happens here. It happens a little bit in Mass Effect 2 as well, but this is the most egregious instance of it, and we'll see if they fixed it. I doubt they did, but it's like, I did not initiate romance with him right now. I was just talking to him. There was never any like intent, or I didn't pick the, like, romancy options, really, of like, oh yeah, I totally wanted to talk to you, and so we'll see if it sort of auto has flipped that switch just from talking with him. That is one thing that I really dislike. I don't know if it does it with anybody else. I don't know if it does it with Ashley, if you play male Shep. And I don't know that it does it with Liara. I think he is the only one that happens with, but I could be wrong. And I would love to know other people's experiences with that. I haven't played as male Shepard very much. I think I did one playthrough back in the day. As male Shep, so, and I did romance Ashley, so I don't know whether it does that if you don't actually flirt with her or whatnot. So we'll see. It would be nice to kind of know that from other folks, but that is a thing that irritates me, because you shouldn't have to either not talk to people or not be nice to them in order to, like, not have them think that you're in a romance with them. Right? Like, you should be allowed to not romance someone.
Yes, Commander?
Hi, Dr. Chakwas.
Is there something you need?
Anything going on? No.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Hey, Liara.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
She is the best.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Tell me some more about some stuffs.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
Maybe she's just evil. Some of these dialogue choices are fun.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
So this, I'm gonna just pause here for a second. This is interesting because Benezia is a super interesting character, and she's not really in it a whole lot. But I think this is a really important point here, is that this was not like her, which is very different from how everybody talks about Saren, because Saren being ruthless and Saren hating humans and that sort of thing has gelled with Saren's personality, right? It kind of makes sense from what we know about him and from what other people tell us about him. It doesn't seem like he's changed, or, you know, him going rogue doesn't seem shocking to people. Whereas Benezia's change in allegiances does sound shocking to people. The council seemed to be kind of surprised that this happened. You know, the Turian councilman said that they didn't expect that she would turn on them, kind of thing. And then Liara, her daughter, even though they haven't had contact in a while, says, you know, this is not like her. And so that's an interesting point that's going to be relevant later. But that's just the start about, like, again, like, these nice seeds that are being sown sort of and peppered throughout this opening sequence. I still, I guess, consider this part of the opening sequence, that sort of hint at things that are gonna make sense later. So good stuff there. Benezia is really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her. And something else to mention about poor Liara there, right? Like, everybody else was sort of, it was hard to miss them in terms of recruiting them. You kind of ran right into them. And I think that you don't have to recruit them. I think you have to recruit one, right? Like, you don't have to take everybody, but you have to get at least one other person, because you always have to have 2 crew members. And there things happen later on that mean that you just need one more person. So I think you have to pick up Garrus or Rex or Tali. But you don't have to pick up them all. Like, I think there are some of them that you can say, like, I don't want to have you in my squad. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Liara, you do kind of have to pick up at some point, but you can wait a long time to come and get her. And if you wait a long time to come and get her, she's kind of crazy by the time you come and pick her up, I think. That's not something that I've ever actually done. I always go and pick her up first, because I think just narratively it makes more sense, and I like Liara, and I want to help her and not have her sit there and be trapped and be crazy. But I think that does happen. There is, like, that consequence of, hey, you went off and did other things and didn't come get me, and I've been trapped here for a long time. And I'm a little bit, you know, haven't eaten, haven't had anything to drink, like, been trapped in here for a while, and that's just, I don't know, it's interesting. Like, it's cool that they have those things where it's not like there is a consequence to waiting and to what order you do some of these missions in. Like, you can do things in various orders, and it's nice that you have that choice, but it is also nice that there is some consequence to that, and it makes it feel more like a living galaxy when there are some of those consequences, right? That it's not like everything else is on pause while you go and do this one thing. It's that the pieces are on the board are still moving while you go do this one thing. And I like that. It's not like a narrative structure that you see very often. So, tell me about the Asari.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
That's disgusting!
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
This is super interesting, by the way. Like, I really like them going into, like, them having a monogendered race is cool. And the way that they go into, like, how they reproduce and stuff, like, I don't know, it's just really, it's interesting. And you would think, because they go on about humans having genetic diversity, you would think that Asari would have a great amount of genetic diversity as well. And I don't know if they address this ever in the series. We'll see as we're playing along if they do. But you would think that they would have a lot of genetic diversity as well, because they can have kids with all kinds of different races, you know, and they take their genes and sort of add them to their own. It may be because they're taking only little bits of their genetic material and sort of splicing them with Asari, and then you always get an Asari, right? Like, their kids are always Asari. Their kids are never like a half Asari, half human, or a half Asari, half Krogan, right? But they do take on traits of their other parent. So, like, we meet a Krogan, an Asari whose father was Krogan, at some point, and, you know, she definitely has those sort of Krogan traits, the sort of bluntness and the gruffness and roughness and toughness. And so, you know, they do incorporate that. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought that I had. Random thought. We'll see.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Very nice, like, live in the moment kind of attitude.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
I doubt that. You're pretty awesome, so...
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Maybe something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
It's kind of sad, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, for them it's normal, but it's kind of sad. Okay.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander. I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Yes, this option went away, but now it's back.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
Ah, my little introverted heart.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
I just love some of these responses. They had like, oh, that's disgusting, and don't try to study, like you're so appalled by, different people's perspectives on things. It's funny. It just is funny to me.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
A specimen for an in-depth study.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
So, for whatever reason, I think particularly in this game, I find Liara very endearing. Like, there's something about that idea of I just wanted to get away from other people and being interested more in the past and finding that fascinating and kind of burying yourself in work and in sort of ruins and digs and that sort of thing. And the only real excitement is when, like, oh my gosh, there's a like wildlife or something that you run into. That's the big exciting thing that happens. There's something like endearing about that to me, that she's like this little introverted person. who, I don't know. And I don't know if she's like a true introvert. It certainly seems so from this conversation, but it could also be that she feels awkward around other people and therefore avoids them, and isn't that, you know, she doesn't need as much contact with other people. She might want that, but she doesn't feel like she knows how to accomplish that because of how she was raised. That could be, but I don't know, the way that she's presented right now is that, you know, okay, you know, I just kind of go off and do my own thing, and that's okay, and I don't really super get lonely. Like, I'm cool with being by myself. And then that also leads to social awkwardness. I don't know, it's just, I find that charming, so, I like Liara. Liara is cool, and also, like I said, very smart. And smart to that degree that it makes someone hard to relate to someone else. Because you're always saying things that are a little bit over their head. Or you don't know exactly how to explain what it is that you're trying to say. Again, like, to me, that's very relatable, so. Just some reasons why, like, I really like Liara. Liara's pretty near and dear to me. I like all the characters, though. Like, I don't know, I complained about the, like, Caden romance thing. Caden's fine. Like, I like Caden. I have no problem with Caden as a character. I think he's good. Like I said, I think he is sort of the moral compass, and kind of like the heart and soul of the team, more so than any other character, in this one especially. But it's just that sort of auto romance thing that irritates me. That is it, and that's a programming thing and kind of a I don't know if I want to call it a heteronormative thing. I think it's more of a programming error, really, where they just sort of assume romance with certain characters, and his is one that I have run into several times and sort of stands out. And I hate having to, like, put him down because, spoilers, I'm not going to romance Caden. So, you know, I don't like having to, you know, say, hey, look, no, we're not in a relationship. What are you talking about? I hate having to do that, because they've sort of ticked that over such that, like, being nice to someone equals now we're in a relationship. It's weird. So that's what irritates me, not his character. Just making that clear.
Commander, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Gare Bear. How are you, and what's up with you and CSEC? What you thinking? You got more to say?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it, too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not gonna play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
So this brings up something that I also want to talk about. And it's how a lot of these people are atypical. And to explain a little bit more about what I mean, they are sort of atypical examples of their people or of their group. So Garrus is an atypical Turian. Turians are very lawful, I think, as a species, right? Like, they're very disciplined, military, and lawful. And so Garrus, being someone who is a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more willing to bend the rules, he is an atypical Turian. And definitely an atypical member of C-Sec. And that helps, I think, like, him fit in with Shepard and him fit in with this crew, and makes him a good, like, crewmate and squadmate, and he fits, like, he slots into this story. He's a hero, right? And I think this is, like, I don't know, just it's kind of the typical, I guess, like, writing thing where it's like heroes are normal people, but there is something about them that is different. And sometimes it's because they were in the right place at the right time. I mean, Shepard got hit by this beacon, not because, you know, she sought it out or there was some sort of destiny there, but it was because, you know, one of her crew members was getting hit with something and she pushed them out of the way. And so it was just kind of happenstance, right, that happened. But also, and as we've sort of already talked about, like, she is different. She is stronger-willed. She is more open-minded and willing to kind of see some of the bigger pictures of things than other people. And so that elevates her and makes her a hero in a way that other people are not. And a lot of these other people are very similar, right? Like, there is something special about Garrus, not just because he's good at calibrations and because he's an excellent sharpshooter and because he's a good sort of tactician and, you know, like, investigator. It's not just that. All those things are true, but it's because he is atypical, right? And he is sort of a person who thinks outside of himself. Very similar for Rex, not a typical Krogan. Krogan generally don't think about their future and, you know, what it would mean to cure the genophage and what it would mean for their race to sort of evolve into something that was not just these warlike people who are out for themselves and who've kind of given up. Most Krogan don't think about that, but Rex does. He's atypical. Liara is atypical for an Asari because, you know, she has sort of an atypical upbringing, but she cares more about these sort of ruins and artifacts of the past and, like, all of this nerdy stuff. And it seems like her race is more about building wisdom for the future kind of deal, and, like, building this genetic diversity and spreading wisdom to themselves and to others. I think it was the Asari that uplifted the Krogan I think they've done that for a couple of races, you know, and so them seeing themselves as these kind of like this social race that that can impart wisdom to and like temperance to other people of the galaxy, and they're so like cultured and whatever. They don't have time for a lot of the things, or they don't care about a lot of the things that Liara cares about, and therefore, you know, she's different. So a lot of the characters do have that kind of trait where it's like they are an atypical example of their race, and that is something that helps them all fit together and makes them kind of this perfect crew for the mission that we are trying to accomplish. So anyway, just thought that I had while talking to Garrus.
So,
hey Rex.
We've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought it was important.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Whose ship was it?
It was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Yeah, Rex has good insight. Hello, Brutus. My kitten decided to jump up here and sit with me. Hello. Do you want to talk to these last couple of crewmates before we sign off for the night? Okay.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was hoping to get a minute of your time. Off the record.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies, at least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
You get a pessimistic view of the universe, Williams.
A pessimist is what an optimist calls a realist. Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
Just shut up. Like, the whole "it's not racism, not really" line, like, it is racism. Of course it is. But you can understand why she feels this way, you know? Because of everything that humanity has sort of been through, and because of the way that the council races treat humans, you know? That little analogy to, you know, it doesn't matter how much you love your dog, you love yourself more. You know, it's an animal. And seeing that as how the other races view humans, you know, oh, they're not one of us. I think that is probably true for some of the aliens, right? But it's not true overall. And I think that, again, like, she has been out there, but she's been out there with a lot of humans, and a lot of human rhetoric, and not necessarily working with aliens, because a lot of times the races are sort of insular and they don't work together very well. And so, you know, you don't get the opportunity to know how other people think and to know how other people view you, when you have such a limited view of things, right? So you can understand why, or I can understand why she feels that way.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, ma'am. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
Dodging.
I come from a military family too. My parents were both Navy. Anybody in your family we might know?
Couldn't say, Commander. We probably have a lot in common. You join up to carry on the tradition?
I don't think they meant to start a family tradition, but after 16 years on ships and stations, how could I spend my life on the ground?
You're lucky. I spent most of my career as groundside garrison.
Alright, I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams, but this is a multilateral mission. You're gonna have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Maybe not quite that, Ash.
I don't think kissing Turians will be necessary.
You never know, Commander.
I mean, Garrus is a romance option in Mass Effect 2, so...
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. T'Soni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
Yeah, but I believe her.
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
Hey.
I don't think she's used to teasing, good-natured or otherwise.
No fun, Commander. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Yes, that is sad. Oh, Ashley. She tries. Anything else?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Yeah. And this is why Ashley gets flack, and I get it. I do. But it's like, I don't know. I can understand where she's coming from there. It's born out of ignorance, not out of malice. And to me, that is important. And she has a nice little, the ability to grow from that perspective, which is good for her.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Aw, Tally, what's going on?
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth, it feels like we're not even moving. And the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually, but we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I really like how, committed she is. Tally really sticks to her convictions. I think that's a real strength of her character. And that's
I should go.
See you later.
See you later. Yeah. Cool. So, that is that. And that is it for that mission and debrief with everybody. And so we are gonna cut things off here. It's been a couple hours, so, good place to stop. Really liking how, all the characters are meshing right now. Again, like I can't say enough how good I think the story is presented in this one. Just the way that everything is introduced and the way that all the characters are introduced and like the sort of gradual build-up that you get of all of their characters. And the more that you talk to them, the more nuance you get. And you can just skip all that, right? Like you can just go from mission to mission to mission and not talk to people and not do any of this extra stuff, right? You can totally do that. But you miss out on so much of the actual story of this game if you don't do that, in my opinion, because I play these for the story and not for the incredible shooting mechanics. You just miss out. Like, you miss out on a whole lot. And, you know, I don't know. I don't think that anybody would disagree with that. I suppose some people just want to play through the main story, and that's what they're here for, and that's fine. But I don't know. There's just so much that you don't get if you don't do some of the extra things and the side quests and all the dialogue and talking to people and, you know, trying out different dialogue options and stuff and seeing what you get. Because sometimes you get more information depending on how you speak to people, right? Or the answers that you give and the things that you say. And so, you know, it is interesting, and it makes multiple playthroughs interesting as well, because you can take those different options and see those different answers and lines of dialogue and trees and stuff. And so it's just good. It's just good. And I am so very enjoying it, and I hope that you are enjoying it as well. So I am going to hop off and get some sleep, because it is very late for me right now while I'm recording this. But I hope that you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.